Greetings, gremlins, and welcome to another episode of the Reality Corner, where I am your host who is being blinded by a big light behind him. You can see my pores, you can see my acne, but who cares? Happy Thursday, everyone. My name is Matt, aka The Death of Drag, and we are here today to talk about more reality TV content and whatever's in the works. I was gonna post last Thursday, but I figured we're gonna kind of try to take it slow. I'm trying to ease into YouTube. I'm not gonna try to rush everything, and if we get there, we get there, So that's what we're trying to do, and you can guarantee a Thursday and Saturday upload each week no matter what, but I did fall behind, and I might fall behind again, it just depends on life. But enough about that. We all know why you're here. We're talking about getting gay-blurred. So yes, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for the 1% of you out there, Mike Gabler has won Survivor 43, and quite frankly, who cares? I don't mean who cares in the sense who cares that I won, whatever. No, he shouldn't have won. Who cares in the sense this season, nobody literally cares about this season anymore. It's been 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks? I don't even know. I don't care. It was a shitty season to end that way, and to have a rather weak final three. No offense to Cassidy and Owen, they did great. Cassidy had a really good social game. I think the editors kind of played it down a bit to show that Mike could have won. I don't know. And definitely Owen with the underdog story, having a lot of missteps. The only games that were really strong this season were Carla and Jesse and Cody. But they got nicked. And that's what happens sometimes. If I had to compare this season to any in particular, I would probably compare it to Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. Because although the main target, the strongest player, if you will, kept making it through, it became rather obvious at some point or another that we knew the boot order episodes in advance. And I think that's what unfortunately happened here, especially with the finale with Carla and Jesse being our late boots. It kind of became obvious between editing time, what we've been seeing, and I think they definitely set up for at least Jesse to come back in a later season, but it was really just a poor season. I do think it's important to talk about how this season kind of impacts the future of Survivor, because as we already saw, I don't know if you guys saw this, I'll try to find it, and if I do, I'll put it up here. There was a point in which in the 43rd season, it was really early that we started to get promotional content for not Survivor finale or whatever, but Survivor 44. We were getting promotional content from Jeff Probst, the production team, really hyping it up. And we already knew the twists, we already knew the everything, and everyone's been saying Survivor 44 is expected to be a great season, but yeah, it's kind of weird. We're at a really strange standstill with Survivor production at this point, and I'm very curious to see how this season 44 will play out. But in terms of Survivor 43, in comparison to Survivor 44, I think a lot of people seeing that early advertisement and this general hype behind production who's really excited to show this season, I think a lot of people are okay, we're going to get something good out of this. And after seeing 43, I'm not too sure. And I think most of you would be willing to agree with me on that end. Survivor 43 was just a very big cluster, especially with the winner receiving the least airtime of the final three. I believe the least confessionals. There's probably a confessional chart, and if I find it, I'll put it up here. And just a whole bunch of other things that just made Gabler seem like a one-note person. Well, 2 notes. Crazy, but with a good heart. And a surgeon, so maybe 3 notes, I don't know. And then to just have this bombshell in the finale, I'm gonna donate it all to charity. Okay, cool. There's just nothing that we could really grow on from Gabler. I just don't like him, and I don't think many people do. His gameplay was sloppy. He almost sent himself home, which, by the way, if you're at a point where you're ready to send yourself home, anyone on that jury should have said, you almost quit this game. You clearly did not want to be here. Why should we vote for someone who didn't have their head in the game versus Cassidy and Owen, who are always there playing? And that's one of the big questions that is left unanswered for me, and I wish we would have gotten to know the answer for. After the finale aired, a bunch of players said, oh, I had to see, I'll explain everything. We didn't really get it. And that's another thing that's confusing me. It's like Survivor 43 is such an open book that needs to be closed. It's like one of those books that we don't need to hear the ending to, and yet somehow we keep talking about it because of stupid YouTube channels who need to make a video on it. But no, honestly, I really think it's time to just close the book on Survivor 43. We did get Gablered, and I think as far as the future production, I think we're going to... I think production will certainly learn its lesson. I think they definitely had to play a certain hand given how the season played out. It wasn't like a normal season where we had a clear front runner or something. We just had this really weird story where a guy won without really anything behind him. So I get it was probably hard on production and the editing team to try to forge something around that. But what that means for future seasons is that we could just be left in the dark again. At least in 41 and 42, a lot of people didn't like Erica or Marianne. I was rooting for both of them. They're great. I think they did great. But I think Survivor 43 just really dropped the ball on proving to us as to why he should have been a winner. And I also just wonder if the way it was edited was also production just saying, yeah, he shouldn't have won. But, you know, I don't know. I may work in film and all of this stuff, but all I can do is guess, especially because each team will have their own tactics. I just hope we don't see it going forward, that this happens again, because I think the biggest flaw with 43, with Mike Gabler winning in the end of after what we all saw, is like everything kind of just felt like it didn't matter. All these moves, all these twists, we didn't really have that many, which thank God compared to 41 and 42. But yeah, it was really kind of just a dud fest, and you can't really complain, I guess, as I complain. It was just a bad season. I would put this probably in one of the lower ones compared to earlier Survivors that really just tanked, and I really hope 44 can pick up from the ruins that this left behind and provide us with something new and fresh and have a better story to tell, because that is something that 43 certainly lacked. I just want to hear why the jury voted for him in the moment. Did it have anything to do with Cassidy? Own up to it. Did you not like Cassidy? That's what I want to hear. Or was it just genuinely something that we missed behind the cameras? Or was it just what you felt in the moment? So no hate to him, even though I may disagree with him on many things, and even though I may disagree with him as being the winner of the season, but I just think, yeah, 43 was a bust. There's no hiding around it. But anyway, I think we're gonna start moving into a better wave of reality TV through 2023. Big Brother, there's a lot of rumors going on that it's either going to be like a heroes versus villains season, returning cast. I don't think we're getting like a Legends thing. I've heard it might be fans versus favorites. I've heard that it's going to be 8 and 8, but that's just from random people. And plus nothing set in stone. I think that's just an idea they're working with, is talking about bringing back former players. But we also saw how that happened in season 22. Yikes. So thank you all so much, and as always, we have our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Demize Studios, which you can find in the link in the description down below. You can subscribe to our new Patreon tiers, which just got cheaper, and become our second patron member, I think. Our very first one, as our first shout out, is Mel, my good friend Mel. Thank you for being a patron. We do already have a large community behind me. My Twitch community got integrated. So don't think it's just going to be one of a few. We have a big group behind us, and we are just pushing forward ever so slowly. But what else can I ask for? Just make sure to please like and subscribe. It greatly helps me, as I am a channel who is in growth. Obviously, we need to tell the algorithm, hey, I like this guy. So thank you all so much for coming to another episode of Reality Corner Gremlins. I hope you enjoyed your time in the depths of hell with me, Matt, aka Death, aka the Death of Drag. So, have a good night and day, evening, happy time zone. Goodbye.